up, YouTube? Crimson Fox here with another deck breakdown. Quick note about this deck. It's kind of like the black sheep of my decks that I built, or rather made, I should say. So, it's not the black sheep because of anything wrong with it. It's actually a good deck, but it's, how to put this, it's not real. Yeah, if you can't tell, that's Sonic the Hedgehog. I found this site a few years back called Yu-Gi-Oh! Card Maker. Link is in the description for those of you who actually want to make your own cards. Yeah, I found this site and I started making Sonic cards. I tried to make them as fair as possible, and then eventually I printed them out on regular paper and just put them in front of real cards. I'll show you. They're like proxies. And I know I said I hate proxies. And what is this, a Glad Beast? Oh, I didn't even know I had a Glad Beast. But anyway, sorry about that. So yeah, this is the Black Sheep, and I know none of you are gonna probably get the effects, or probably not gonna understand how the effects work, or you're thinking that, but I'll explain as I go along. All right, so first up we have three Mobian Sonic the Hedgehog. Mobian is the archetype of cards. Pretty much what Sonic does is whenever another Mobian monster is attacked, he special summons himself and makes himself the attack target. So there's that. 3 Amy Rose. Sorry if they go out of picture. There's adjust the camera so that way I can just slap them on down. 3 Amy Rose. Basically, she chases after Sonic, giving herself more power, and then while she's face up, Sonic can't die. He can't be destroyed by battle. Okay. Next, 2 Shadow. He's a revenge killer. When a Mobian monster dies, you special summon him and destroy the monster that destroyed your Mobian monster. I know that sounded a little confusing probably because I'm speaking so fast, so I'll break it down again. When a Mobian monster dies, you special summon him. He destroys your opponent's monster that just destroyed a Mobian monster. Okay? Next, to Silver. Whenever a card effect, period, card effect at all is what I meant. Monster, spell, trap, doesn't matter. Whenever one of those effects targets a Mobian monster, you special summon him, negate the target, and destroy it. Or negate the effect and destroy the card with the effect. Okay, next. 2 Mobian Blaze. She works like Trap Hole. When my opponent summons a monster, normal summons a monster, I special summon her, blow up the monster, deal 14 to them, and then she can't attack next turn. I think that was pretty fair. To call, whenever my opponent attacks directly, I special summon her and end the battle phase. Chaos. When I control a T-Call during my standby phase, I special summon him. Before I continue on, I want to explain something about the Mobians really, really fast. All the Mobians special summoned from the hand or deck. Since it is Sonic and all of his friends and the characters from his series, I decided to go with something a little bit more realistic for them. The whole point of the deck is that they're fast, and that Mobians never stand alone. I mean, think about it. The only time Sonic has ever stood alone against an enemy is during Sonic 1. Nowadays, we always have Sonic's friends and stuff joining the game, or not always, but most of the time, they're there to support him, or someone's there to support him as he fights the evil of that game. So I kind of based it around that idea. Also, a lot of the Sonic characters are fast, so I based it around speed, so they can summon themselves from the hand or deck. Alright, so moving on. Just wanted to explain that real fast. Manic. Yeah, I know, it's manic. Excuse me. Basically, when a synchro monster activates its effect, I made these back when synchros were a big problem. But when a synchro monster activates its effect, I negate it and destroy it. No, he doesn't destroy the card. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, just negate the effect. Sorry about that. Sonya, when my opponent's synchro monster attacks, summon her, switch it to defense mode. Not a bad card. Destined Souls. I do have the supers of characters, and this is the one way to get out one of the supers. If you couldn't tell, it's her super. And if you can't tell who that is, that's Amy. Yeah, I know, Super Amy. She doesn't exist, and I know. Trust me. Like I said, this is the black sheep of my decks. I still enjoy playing it. No one will duel me though, and I'll explain why later. Anyway, Love's Miracle. When I have a Supersonic on the field and an Amy dies, I activate it and bring back the Amy, and then this effect also allows me to get this to my hand. Young Love ... question mark. You don't actually have to say it's Young Love, but anyway, sorry about that. What this effect does is basically give Amy her effect. If you recall, Amy gets special summoned when Sonic is summoned. Well, while you control Sonic and you didn't activate her effect, you activate this, summons her, and gives her effect, giving the whole 500 attack and defense. But after, she can't attack at all. I think that's pretty fair. I mean, when you summon her, when you summon her with her special summon, she becomes a 2k beat stick, so I think giving her a card effect that gives her the same ability is fair, that, to not let her attack. That kind of dragged on a little too long. Alright, anyway, next, Seven's Chaos. Gets out the rest of my super monsters. Sonic, Shadow, Silver. That's it. That's all I got. Spin Dash. When I have a Sonic on the field, I can destroy one card. Chaos Control. Pretty much when my opponent has... during my opponent's turn, if I control a Sonic, Shadow, or Silver, I can skip one of their phases. Then I have to wait 2 turns to activate this effect again. 2 of my turns. So, to be fair, I couldn't just wait 2 turns, but anyway. But it skips one of my opponent's phases, yeah. Just in case you didn't hear it the first time, because I'm stupid. Anyway, Rising Anger gets out my Mobian Dark monsters. For those of you who don't know what Dark... like, people call them Dark Supersonic. If you don't know who that is, just Google it. You'll find out pretty quick. A lot of people actually like it. I like the idea. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and get off that. Shattering Love. If I control a Sonic and an Amy, I destroy all my opponent's monsters. But then afterward, I cannot attack nor summon, nor special summon, excluding synchro summons. And yes, I mean excluding synchro summons. I can still go into my synchros, which I do make. But anyway, I cannot special summon or attack with Mobian monsters except synchro monsters, and that's only for summoning. Yeah, excluding synchro summons. I put that at the end because I'm, again, retarded. I'm an idiot. Anyway. Son Amy for the win. Yeah, if you couldn't tell, I'm a big Son Amy fan. Not as much as other things, but anyway. Yeah, I know. I'm a nerd. I know that's what you guys are saying. It's okay. I've accepted this. Son Amy for the win. Basically, trap stun and spell stun into one. I know spell stun doesn't actually exist, but think of it that way. It stops all spell and trap on the field from being activated while I control Sonic and Amy. Supreme Tag Team. When I have 2 super monsters, I activate it. It negates the activation of a spell and trap card, and it destroys a monster on the field. Okay, last card. Wounded Mobian. When a level 4 or lower Mobian monster is destroyed by battle, I activate this card, and it brings it back, and I take no damage. If I have another Mobian monster, I add Rising Darkness to my hand to get out my dark monsters. Alright, next is the extra deck. This is the last part of the deck. 2 Mobian Perfect Chaos. Level 7 needs Mobian monsters. Basically, he gains 300 for every 7th Chaos in the grave and on the field. And once per turn, I can ditch my entire hand to destroy all cards in the field except for him, but then he can't attack. So, it's a good field nuke, but his effect hasn't really helped me because it forces me to top deck. And even though top decking works fine with me, my opponent doesn't like to do anything afterward, and it sucks. And I'll explain what I mean by that later. But anyway, Nighttopian Knights. Basically, level 8 needs Mobian monsters again. He works like a reverse Union monster. He takes other monsters and equips them to himself, and then unequips and special summons them. While he's equipped, he gains 500 attack, making his attack 33. And while he's equipped with a Mobian monster specifically, he cannot be destroyed by battle. He takes no battle damage, and any battle damage I would have taken from battle involving this card is dealt to my opponent instead. So he's pretty good, but most of the time I don't get to summon him or synchro summon him at all. Most of the time I just get out my supers and win. Sometimes I don't even get these guys out. Anyway, this is Super Amy. She gets summoned by Destined Souls. And in my recent errata of her, 7th Chaos can special summon her as well. I do have to errata and reprint out some of these cards. I just haven't had the time. Anyway, Super Amy. She gains 500 attack for every Sonic card. That includes regular Sonic and any other Mobian monster with Sonic in the name. So like Super Sonic and Dark Sonic. So for everyone in the grave and on the field, she gains 500 attack. Yeah, I know, that's pretty big, considering I have a lot of Sonics in the deck. And then while she's face up on the field, my Sonic monsters cannot be destroyed by battle or card effect, and they take no battle damage. I'm pretty sure. Let me check that. Sorry, I haven't looked at these cards in a while. I haven't dueled anyone with these cards in forever because no one wants to duel me with these. Cannot be destroyed. No. I would still take battle damage, but they can't be destroyed. Okay. Sorry about that. Next, Super Shadow. I select one of my opponent's monsters, blow it up, and they take damage equal to half their attack. Half of that monster's attack. Super Silver. When my opponent activates a spell or trap card, not a monster effect, I negate the activation and destroy all face-up spell or trap cards except for 7's Chaos. Supersonic pretty much works like a Sakuretsu armor. When a Mobian monster is selected for an attack target, I negate the attack, blow up the monster, and then they take damage equal to that monster's attack. He's pretty good. It's only once per turn, but it's still a pretty good effect. Alright, lastly are my Mobian Darks. And I'll explain something. Let me go ahead and explain. I'll explain later. I mean, certain things about the Darks and Supers. Anyway, pretty much the same effect as Supersonic, except it's not once per turn. And he's also a little bit more powerful. And lastly, Super Amy. She's pretty weak. She's not pretty weak, but like in comparison to Super Amy, Dark Amy is just, well, she doesn't gain any power, is what I mean. Anyway, she works almost exactly like Mobian Dark Sonic and Super Sonic, except it only works when I have a Sonic on the field that would be destroyed, or is selected as an attack target. So, let's say I have these two out, which is impossible. I'll tell you about that later. If I have these two out, they select him as an attack target. She protects him, blows him up, and then deals damage to my opponent for trying it. Anyway, so that's the deck. And I'd like to explain a few things about the deck. I already said that this cards mainly special summon from the deck and the hand, but that's also how they get their effects. They cannot get their effects otherwise. Also, the summons are chained to whatever my opponent does. Like I said before, like his effect only happens when my opponent attacks. Her effect happens when my Sonic is special summoned, so she has to chain to him. When my opponent kills a monster, when my opponent activates Spell Trap, when my opponent normal summons, you get the picture. They all chain to something. So if my opponent doesn't do anything, I can't actually do anything either. Last few things. Supers cannot be destroyed by battle and take no battle damage. I based it off of their whole I'm invincible thing. For those of you who don't know Sonic, which I'm sure most of you do, Super Sonic is his super form. Yeah, it pretty much works like a Super Saiyan. Makes him more powerful, he's invincible, and he pretty much can't die unless you fall in a pit. And then Darks work the same way as Supers, except you can't have more than one Dark on the field. They work like Malefics. You can only have one on the field at a time. So that's the deck. I hope you guys liked it. I know it's a little bit lengthy, and I didn't quite go into as much detail as I could have, but then we'd be here all day explaining these cards. And I know you probably think this is stupid that I made cards, but it's not as stupid as you think. A lot of people do it, and it really is fun. But that's besides the point. So I just want to thank you for watching these videos, and this is the last real deck video. Next deck I do will be on DNet, and remember, if you guys want me to build you a deck, or trying to think of what else. If you guys want me to build you a deck, or anything at all like that, review a specific card, whatever, just remember to PM me about it, and I'll get to you as soon as I can, which will probably be very soon because I have all the time in the world. I mean, I made a whole deck of cards out of Sonic. I'm so nerdy. Anyway, rate, comment, subscribe, make cards, something like that. And I'll see you guys later. So remember, keep on being nerdy.